No thank you, sir. Holy moly donut shop, guys. What the heck did we just witness today? What what an incredible price action we had. A big body green candle here on the daily chart. I gotta zoom in here. Big body green candle, but we did close a little bit lower than we did last week. Now, we did have a very nice gap down. Last Friday, we closed at 505.2-ish. This morning, we opened at 489. Holy moly donut shop, guys. And the price action was wild in both directions. Uncle does have a Discord where I try to be an extra pair of eyes for my Discord members. And I wrote here, 490 is next support. If it fails, 488 and 486 incoming. If 490 holds, then 492 must clear to put those higher targets in play. Okay, then I had to update it. 488 is next support. Guys, look at that price action, right? We broke down 488 right when market opened. We broke down 488, broke down 486. We went as low as 481.80. Just this one red bar alone, if you caught the breakdown of 488 or 486, just this one red bar alone would have been amazing, an amazing trade. But what happened? What happened? Well, we had the greatest trade setup of all time, the false breakdown setup, guys. Now, the red candle, we broke down and we lost that 482 level. But on the very next candle, we recaptured 482. 486, 488, 490. It just popped up. It had a low of 482.5-ish on this candle with a high of 496.4. At that point, holy moly. At that point, we cleared a few levels, which Uncle Charters did update it. Violent false breakdown with 494 as current support. If it fails, then back down to 492 and 490 we go. If 494 holds and 496 clears, 500 plus in play. And you guys can see what the heck happened. That 494 level held as a support and it bounced all the way. It crushed the 500 level, going extremely high. Just go. What was the high? 523. 523. That was like a $40+ move this morning before we finally had the false breakout setup where we cleared the five with multiple levels. Goodness, we cleared the 512 and the 510 level, broke all those levels back down. There was money to be made both ways. Thank you, God, for the volatility. And then for the rest of the day, we chopped. All right, now you look at that, you can see we chopped, but oh my goodness, even when we chopped, there were some beautiful level-to-level moves. $5, $3, $6 moves. This was sheep's paradise. Bah! Holy moly. Guys, but, it was incredible. But let's get into the plan for tomorrow, okay? You guys see that big body green candle. We closed a little lower. I had to zoom out on this one and give us some more macro-level fib levels, if you will. Some more macro level fib level because the market has just been dropping, destroying the bulls like it's nothing. Holy moly. So I got to give you guys the important pivot level here. And for me, that important pivot level is 510. That's a fib level. That is the equilibrium level. As long as below 510, Uncle Charters will remain bearish. We could chop sideways, whatever happens, but as long as below 510, I will remain bearish, and I do expect more downside. If we can recapture 510, I would expect some type of relief bounce. And guys, we got to be very careful because, well, you guys saw what happened this morning with that $40 bounce. Okay, we are in short squeeze mode, so we got to be very careful. We could be guys, remember, even when price action is bearish, the bounces are violent. This is the violent bounces that I've been telling you guys about. Those short squeezes are no joke. Okay, so we got to be very careful and remember to be sheeps. We can play at both sides. So, bear case scenario. Staying below 510 is a good start. Okay, support levels that I have it at 505. Well, It's at 507 right now, so I have support at 506.5, 505, 503, 500. Okay? If we can break down those support levels, then back to the downside we go. Super volatile, so there's a good chance if we break down those levels, we're definitely going down. So below 500, definitely could bounce back down to 494, 490. But the next fib level I have is all the way down at 485.8-ish. All right? 485.8-ish. It's only possible if we stay below 510 and we break down those support levels, 506.5, 505, 503, and 500. And we can get back to the 490s. All right? Volatility is here, guys. Now, if we are to be bullish and get a bounce, then as usual, we need the false breakdown setup. We need the false breakdown setup and preferably lots of volume. Give us some short squeezes so we can play them. And if we get if we can clear 510 and 512, it's a good chance we can bounce all the way back up to 516, 518. I got a level at 520, 521.5, a fib level at 523, which held today. That fib level held today around 523. I had a fib level there. And above 523, I would expect a bigger bounce. We have a gap all the way up at the 536.7-ish level. But that's only possible, as usual, if we can get those false breakdowns set up, starting with the recapture of 510 and 512. Moving on to triple Q here. I do have a fib level around 426.3, lingering around there now. If we can stay above that and clear 428 and 430, I would expect a bigger bounce up to 434. And above that, 440. We have a gap, a fib level at 448. And a gap all the way up around 450-ish. Only possible we can stay above 426.3 and clear 428 and 430 to get the bounce going. Now, if we're below 426.33 and we start breaking down support levels, starting with 425, 422, and 420, then more downside incoming for triple Q. The next fib level is all the way down at 412.8. All right, big possibility we hit those levels, but we must stay below 426.3 and break down 425 and 422. Here is Tesla. Beautiful volatility for Tesla as well, but it's lingering around the fib level at 233.5. That is a fib level. Below it, we'll put 232, 230, 227.5 in play, which is the next fib level. 226, 224, and then the next fib level at 222.5. Bearish if we can stay below 233.5 and break down those support levels that I mentioned. Now, if we can stay above 233.5, it's above it now. If we can stay above it and start clearing resistance levels, 235, 237, and 240, I would reckon, am I saying that right? I reckon we go hit that next fib level, which is around 243.3-ish. And then I got 247, 249, and 251 plus above that, okay? Now here is NVDA, a beautiful, beautiful big bounce for NVDA. For my tier 2 members, I do cover NVDA. I put no longs unless 90.5 and 92 clears. If support at 89 fails, then more downside incoming. We're just looking to react, and those pivot levels worked beautifully. We cleared 90.5, we cleared 93.5, and we just kept on bouncing. But how much higher can we go? Well, I have the next resistant level at 99 and the fib level at 100.5. If we can clear those levels, then definitely more upside is possible. 102, 103.5, 105, 107, and a fib level at 108.6. If today was a dead cat bounce, or the plan is to head back down tomorrow, then I need to see support levels fail. Okay, 97.8, 95.7, 93.5. Those are my support levels. If they fail, 90.5 incoming, with then 89, 86.6, and then 85 or lower below. Moving on to coin. I've been tracking coin to pay attention to crypto, and I really love coin. Super volatile, super volatile. Even last year it was volatile, so I really like this ticker symbol. Right now, I have support at 158.2 and 157. If coin wants to give us a pullback, those support levels must fail to put 155 and 153.2 in play first. And if we want a deeper pullback, then it must break down that fib level support at 153.2 to put 152, 150, 148, and 146.7 in play. If the bounce continues into tomorrow, I have next resistance at 160 and the fib level at 161.8. If they clear 163, 165, 167, and 170 are the levels that I'm watching, and that must clear to keep the bounce going. All right, and here is the VIX. Holy moly, donut shot. What a gap up. What a gap up. Right now, it closed around 46.97. I do have next support at 45. And then a fib level support at 42. Those levels must fail to give VIX a pullback. To send it down lower with 39.4, 37, and 35.8 all in play, okay? Now there's a macro level fib level at 48. 48. We can clear 48, then we're going to 50 plus. 48 is the level to watch. If you're a bull, clear it, more upside. Stay below it, we break down 45 and 42. Pullback time. Guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Uncle Charters love you guys. Good luck tomorrow. Peace.